The fluorescent hum of the office lights always seemed to amplify Michael's condescending tone. For 3 grueling years, I, Daniel, 30, had endured the relentless belittling from my boss, Michael Thorne, at Sterling and Associates, a top marketing firm in downtown Chicago. I was a senior marketing associate, good at my job, dedicated, and genuinely passionate about creative campaigns. But to Michael, I was perpetually the junior guy, an expendable cog in his perfectly polished corporate machine. Michael was everything I wasn't, loud, brash, and a master of self-promotion. He was the kind of boss who took credit for your successes and meticulously highlighted your every perceived flaw. He thrived on tearing people down, and I, for some reason, had become his favorite target. "Daniel, are you sure you grasp the concept of urgency?" He'd sneer during team meetings, holding up my perfectly executed report. "This needs more pizzazz. More Michael Thorne touch, wouldn't you agree?" The entire room would shift uncomfortably, but no one dared challenge him. He'd ridicule my ideas, even the ones that later proved successful, when he subtly rebranded them as his own. He'd micromanage my every move, then accuse me of lacking initiative. My suggestions for innovation were met with derision, dismissed as naive or unrealistic. My personal life even became fodder for his jokes. "Still single, Daniel? Maybe if you put as much effort into your dating life as you do into these mundane spreadsheets, you'd find someone." The office would erupt in forced laughter. I tried to ignore it. I focused on my work, delivering exceptional results despite his constant sabotage. I stayed late, took on extra projects, hoping my performance would speak for itself. But Michael was a master manipulator. He'd consistently undermine me in performance reviews, denying me raises and promotions, always citing nebulous areas for improvement that magically aligned with his personal critiques. My girlfriend, Emily, a kind and insightful therapist, saw the toll it was taking. "He's toxic, Daniel," she'd say, her hand gently tracing patterns on my arm. "You're shrinking, and you deserve better." But quitting felt like giving up, like letting Michael win. The thought of finding another job, of starting over, felt exhausting. So I swallowed my pride, day after day, hoping things would change. The breaking point came during a high-stakes pitch for our biggest potential client of the year, a global tech giant. I had spent months researching, brainstorming, and crafting a groundbreaking strategy. It was arguably the best work of my career. Michael had initially scoffed at my early drafts, but sensing the potential, he quickly took over, rebranding it as his vision. During the final presentation, he deliberately sidelined me, giving me only a few insignificant slides while he hogged the spotlight, presenting my core ideas as his own. Mid-presentation, a crucial technical detail arose, a complex query about data architecture. Michael, who barely understood the nuances, fumbled. The client's executives exchanged uneasy glances. My heart pounded. This was it. My moment. Without hesitation, I stepped in, calmly and concisely explaining the intricate technical solution, drawing on months of my own independent research. The client's lead tech executive nodded, impressed. Michael shot me a glare that could curdle milk, but he couldn't interrupt. The moment was too critical. After the presentation, when the client team had left, Michael dragged me into his office. "What the hell was that, Daniel?" he hissed, his face red with fury. "You undermined me. You made me look bad." He then proceeded to berate me, calling me disloyal, arrogant, and finally, the word that snapped something inside me. "You're a loser, Daniel. Always will be. You'll never amount to anything more than a glorified spreadsheet jockey." I stared at him, not with fear, but with a cold, terrifying clarity. The years of abuse, the stolen credit, the emotional toll, it all coalesced into a singular, undeniable truth. He wasn't just a bad boss, he was actively trying to destroy me. And I wasn't going to let him. My revenge wouldn't be dramatic or confrontational. It would be elegant, precise, and utterly undeniable. My plan began that very night. First, documentation. For 3 years, I had meticulously saved every email, every presentation draft, every communication that could prove my original authorship of ideas and campaigns. I created a secure, off-site digital archive. I also subtly started taking notes on Michael's own missteps, his habitual tardiness, his inappropriate comments, his tendency to delegate crucial tasks then disappear. Next, I cultivated my network, not just within Sterling and Associates, but across the industry. I started attending conferences, not for company-sponsored events, but on my own dime. I joined professional forums, connected with former colleagues and mentors, building genuine relationships based on mutual respect and shared interests. I shared my insights, offered advice, and built a reputation as a quietly brilliant problem solver, independent of Michael's shadow. Crucially, I started a stealth project. For months, I had been nurturing an idea for a revolutionary new marketing algorithm, a way to predict consumer behavior with unprecedented accuracy. Michael had scoffed at it when I'd pitched it to him months ago, calling it a fantasy. Now, working late nights and early mornings from my home office, fueled by coffee and a burning desire for vindication, I built it. It was incredibly complex, requiring all my engineering acumen and creative thinking. Emily, sensing my renewed purpose, was my quiet confidant and biggest cheerleader. The turning point came when the global tech giant, impressed by my technical insights during the pitch, unexpectedly reached out directly to me. They wanted to discuss a partnership, a direct collaboration with me, not Michael. I played it cool, maintaining professional boundaries, but the seed was planted. They saw my value, independent of Sterling and Associates. Meanwhile, Michael's arrogance grew. He basked in the glory of securing the tech giant's account, completely unaware that it was my intervention, and not his bluster, that had truly sealed the deal. He became even more overbearing, even more prone to public outbursts. He pushed his team to the brink, leading to quiet whispers of discontent and resignations. Then came the moment of elegant revenge. One Friday afternoon, as Michael was giving another condescending pep talk about synergy and leveraging assets, the CEO of Sterling and Associates, Ms. Eleanor Vance, walked into the meeting room. She rarely attended these mundane team meetings. Her presence immediately silenced Michael. Ms. Vance cleared her throat. "Michael, if you'd be so kind, I'd like to make an announcement. We've just received a very exciting proposal from Apex Technologies, our new major client. They've expressed keen interest in piloting an innovative new marketing algorithm. They believe it could revolutionize their outreach." She paused, her gaze sweeping the room before landing on me. "This algorithm," she continued, "was developed by none other than our very own Daniel Peterson. Apex Technologies specifically requested to work with Daniel on this project, citing his exceptional technical insights and innovative thinking." A gasp rippled through the room. Michael's face went from smug to ashen. The blood drained from it. He stared at me, a mixture of shock and dawning horror in his eyes. Ms. Vance continued, "Furthermore, given the scale of this groundbreaking project and Daniel's proven leadership and ingenuity, we've decided to restructure the marketing department. Daniel, you will be heading a new, dedicated division focusing on algorithmic marketing solutions. This is a vice president role, effective immediately." She then turned, her voice losing its warmth. "As for Michael," she said, her tone suddenly chillingly professional, "your services will no longer be required at Sterling and Associates. We've noted a consistent pattern of management inconsistencies and a lack of collaborative spirit that no longer aligns with our company's values." The silence in the room was deafening. Michael, utterly deflated, just stood there, his bravado completely evaporated. He looked at me, a silent, desperate plea in his eyes, but I offered nothing back. My expression was calm, professional. Later that day, as Michael cleared out his office, a few colleagues quietly approached me, offering congratulations, their eyes filled with a mix of awe and relief. I just smiled, thanking them. I didn't gloat, didn't celebrate his downfall. That wasn't the point. My revenge was complete. It wasn't about making him miserable. It was about building myself up so high that his attempts to tear me down became utterly meaningless. It was about proving, through undeniable action, that I was more than his petty insults, more than his limited vision. As I walked out of the office that evening, the Chicago skyline gleaming around me, Emily met me with a proud smile. "So," she said, squeezing my hand, "how does VP Daniel feel?" I laughed, a genuine joyful sound. "It feels right. It feels like freedom." He had called me a loser, tried to crush my spirit, and remorselessly stolen my credit. But what I did next? I built an innovative solution, cultivated my own reputation, and ascended to a position of leadership, not through aggression, but but through quiet competence and undeniable talent. And in doing so, I not only made him regret every single word, but also became the architect of my own extraordinary future. And that, in itself, was the most elegant form of victory imaginable.